Hello girls, how are you doing? Today we will start our story Going to Japan by Barbara Kingsolver. She says, my great aunt Zilda went to Japan and took an abacus. Abacus is a way of counting math for babies. A bathysphere is a metal, like a small chamber you go into and then you dive with it into under the sea. A conundrum is like a quiz or a bun, something hard to solve. A diatribe is like insulting. And an eggplant, eggplant, a food. That was a game we used to play. All you had to do was remember everything in alphabetical order, right up to Anzilda. So here, Barbara starts her essay joking and kidding because, of course, Anzilda didn't take this stuff with her to Japan. Okay? Then I grew up and was actually invited to go to Japan, not with the fantastic Anzelda, but as myself. As such, I had no idea what to take. I knew that I planned to be researching a story about the memorial at Hiroshima. Hiroshima, girls, Hiroshima, if you took it in the in the World War II, the American bombed a nuclear bomb on his city of Hiroshima, and the city was completely vanished, completely destroyed. Nothing remained alive there. Nothing remained alive in Hiroshima. So if you read down the memorial of Hiroshima here, Hiroshima, the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park commemorates the death and the destruction caused by the US bombing of Hiroshima near the end of World War II. Okay, so she wanted to go to the memorial of Hiroshima, visiting friends, trying not to get lost in a place where I couldn't even read the street signs. She cannot even read the street signs because, of course, they are written in Japanese and she doesn't know how to read Japanese. Times being what they were at any times, I introduced to do my very best to respect the cultural differences. She tried hard to respect the differences between their cultures, avoid sensitive topics I might one comprehend and I might not I might not comprehend, and in short be anything but an ugly American. Why she called herself ugly American? Because America has bombed the nuclear bomb on Hiroshima and you are an American and you come to visit the place where your country bombed on us the nuclear bomb. I'm sorry guys, I read from the mobile so it's hard for me to see. When I travel, I like to try to blend in. I like to fit in. I've generally found it helps to be prepared, so I asked around and was wanted to expect a surprisingly modern place. My great aunt Zilda went to Japan to and look at appliances, materials she needs, battery packs, cellular technology. That seems to be the idea. So look at question A. What includes in lines 1 to 15 hint that this will be a humorous essay? Explain your answer citing evidence. We know what humorous what makes us laugh, what is funny. So if we look here to the list that Aunt Zilda took with her to Japan, of course she didn't take that. So she is having Barbara here gives us a what a easy breezy essay. Okay, she is not writing a harsh essay. No, she's writing an informal essay, as if she is sitting with her friend and telling her a story, and she laughs and they say jokes among the essay. So this is going to be a humorous essay. Okay, and then when she said, I don't want to be an ugly American, and she was going to Hiroshima and this. And so it came to pass that I arrived in Kyoto, an utter foreigner. Kyoto is a Japanese city rich in history and culture. Kyoto was the nation's capital from 794 until 1868. So she was an utter foreigner, complete foreigner, unprepared. It's true that there are electric streetcars there and space age gas stations with uniformed attendants who rush to help you from all directions at once. When you go to fill your gas, everyone comes to help you. There are also golden pagodas. Pagodas, let's read what is pagodas. Sacred buildings on the Buddhist religion, typically towers with many levels. It's like a hut. Hut. The hut, Pizza Hut, this hut. Yes, this hut. It's like a hut. It's a sacred buildings for Chinese to for the religion. Okay. So where are we? Yes, there are also golden pagodas on shimmering lakes. Pagodas on shimmering lakes and Shinto shrines. What Shinto shrines? Shrines from the Shinto religion. So the religion is Shinto. That's why they have this buildings, pagodas. Okay, and Shinto is the main religion of Japan. Okay, so we go to page 855. Look at the picture. What do you feel when you look at the picture, girls? Actually, the picture is funny. Why? We have two things. Number one, the woman sitting on this angle picture, she's what? A woman seated on on the bench, okay, and she's wearing a what? A Western cloth. She's wearing pants and pullover, and this is a Western cloth. While the pictures of in the back, it's what? Traditional sandals. You know the traditional sandals that they wear. The women wear this, and they wear the kimono, Japanese sandals. Okay, so this is funny. She wears modern cloth, and the picture in the back is the Japanese traditional sandals. And the photo, the angle photo of the woman, she sits how she sits. Her legs are what? A slanting inward. Her legs look at slanting. While the sandals are what? Look at the sandals. They are aligned vertically. Look how they are aligned in one line. And look at her. She looks silly among the what? Very, very organized sandals. It gives you a feeling of that she is totally, utterly out of place. She's totally out of place. Okay? And when you look at the picture, do you feel that she is the ugly American among them? Okay, let's see. But actually, Ugly American was a title for a book. At the time, after America bombed the nuclear bomb on Japan, and then came the time of Vietnam War when America went to Vietnam and they established the Vietnam War, and all of that give the idea that America has an ugly face, which is Ugly America. Okay, so we go back to her description of the country. In the forest, there are bamboo groves and night angles. And finally, there are more invisible guidelines for politeness than I could fathom. Fathom, as I believe there are more invisible guidelines for politeness. So here she will focus on what politeness. She doesn't care now about anything but the politeness, and this is what she will discuss. When I stepped on a streetcar, a full head taller than all of other passengers, so she was taller than all of them. I became an awkward giant. She was so tall, she was like a giant. I took up too much space. I blended like Igor would blend in with the corpse de ballet in Swan Lake. Swan Lake is a ballet. A ballet. Look, if we read from down, Iger Corpse du Ballet in Swan Lake. Iger is the clumsy assistant in many Frankenstein movies. Swan Lake is a Russian ballet, yes, a Russian ballet composed by Peter Lelik Tchaikovsky, yes, Tchaikovsky. Look, girls, there is a Swan Lake, this famous music, it's not present in my mind now. The dancers are so lightly jumping up and down and dancing lightly on the music of Tchaikovsky. Yes, his name is Tchaikovsky, and he is Russian. So how does she feel? She felt one of those swaying leg dancers? No, she felt like Iger. Iger was the assistant of Frankenstein. You know what is Frankenstein? Frankenstein is this giant monster who was made out of the dead bodies. They say that Frankenstein, that there was some man who used to bury the dead, and then he took a nose from a dead man, the ears from another dead man, the hands from a third dead man, and he gathered all of them together, and he, with a needle and a thread, he attached them together, and then came Frankenstein. So she felt like the assistant of Frankenstein among all of the swing leg dancers. So she's talking about how they are moving. Of course, they are not dancing, they are moving lightly. They are so thin, they are so polite and small, and she felt like a giant among them. So I took up too much space. I blended in like Iger would blend in with the corpse du ballet in Swan Lake. I bumped into people. I crossed my arms when I listened, which turns out to be in Japanese body language. So they care a lot about the body language, the sign for indicating brazenly that one is bored. What did she do? She crossed her arms when she was listening, and this is a sign of being bored in Japanese body language. Okay, so brazenly is boldly and without shame. Boldly, it was not polite of her to do this. Where have we started? But I wasn't. I was struggling through my days and nights in the grip of boredom's opposite, panic. I didn't know how to eat noodle soup with chopsticks. This is what was her life. She suffered. She couldn't eat her noodle soup with the chopsticks. And I did it most picturesquely wrong. Picturesque is an adjective. Picturesquely is an adverb, which is something to draw. Yani it is so humorous that you'd like to draw it and laugh about it. So she couldn't even at all eat her noodle soup with the chopsticks. I didn't know how to order. So I politely deferred to my host, and more than once was served a cuisine with heads, including eyeballs. So she couldn't know how to read the menu. So she enters and then she chooses, and she was served a cuisine. Cuisine is like, the cuisine, like the molokhaya we have, the peas we have, green peas with carrot. Cuisine with heads. She finds heads inside. The eyeballs, they eat the eyeballs. I managed to wrestle these creatures to my lips with the chopsticks, but it was already too late by the time I got the message that one does not spit out anything. The Japanese man, when they eat, they do not spit anything out of their mouth, but she used to do it a lot. Okay, I undertook this trip in high summer, when it is surprisingly humid and warm in southern Japan. So it was humidity. So you sweat all the time, and it is too hard to breathe from the humidity. And warm in southern Japan. I never imagined that at such a sweltering heat, women would be expected to wear stockings. Stockings, it means many layers. Women used to wear layers. More than one shirt. But every woman in Kyoto wore nylon. Nylon is the kind of cloth. Nylon stocking. Koides in shorts on the tennis court wear nylon stockings. I had packed only skirts and sandals. People averted their eyes. She was only wearing a sandal and a skirt, but everyone was wearing these nylon stockings. When I went to Japan, I took my altitude, my bare naked legs, my callous foreign way. I was mortified. Mortified is very embarrassed, humiliated. Why? Because of what she wears. Look at question B. Kingsolver repeats this alphabetical word play throughout the essay. How does this contribute to the humor of the piece? Explain your answer. What does mean? What is alphabetical word play? She plays with the words. So here, girls, when she says altitude here, in line 39, when she says, when I went to Japan, I took my altitude, my bare naked legs, my callous foreign ways. So that, what is that? I was mortified. What is that, girls? That support her, what? Her humor sense, her humorous sense, her sense of humor, that she's playing with the words. She plays with the alphabetical list to fit with it. Okay? So she just wants to be humorous. My host explained to me that the Japanese language doesn't accommodate insults. It doesn't have any insults. Only infinite degrees of apologize. I quickly memorized an urgent one. Sumimasen. And another, of course, it's a Japanese. I don't, I say it well. Sumimasen. And another for especially extreme cases, Moshiwako Guzmasin. Okay, well, so I can travel to Japan now. I know 2 words. This translates approximately to mean, if you please, my transgression is so inexcusable that I wish I were dead. This is the way they apologize. Again, if you please. Okay, we always say what? If you please, and that's it. But they say what? If you please, my transgression is so inexcusable that I wish I were dead. My mistake was unbelievable. I wish I were dead. Okay, so let's stop here, girls, because the second part is related to the next page. So here we understand many points, that she has a great sense of humor. She wrote a humorous essay about her trip to Japan and the differences in the cultures, and how she tried to keep maintaining and blending in, but actually she couldn't. She was a giant among them. When she joins the bus, when she entered the restaurant, she couldn't order the food, and she ends up spitting the food. She didn't understand how they are apologizing all the time. Okay, so we continue next time. See you later, girls. Bye.